Right, everybody, welcome back to the Behind the Brand podcast. My name is Curtis, and of course, I'm the host. And today we are joined by a brand new business, and first of all, our very first two guests. Yay. And at the same time, we've never had like a two-guester from the one business, which is good, and hopefully will inspire others to come and do it as well. See, for the ones that are maybe a wee bit scared doing it on their own, like nice to actually come and do it with somebody else. So,
safety numbers.
That's it, safety numbers. So we have, now I'm going to get this so wrong, even though we just said it straight off, Brierie Financial Planning.
That's the one.
Brierie Financial Planning. There you go. We were talking off the podcast for those listening, and we were saying about how it was Brierie, depending what part you're from, it could be. But then again, that's cheese. So
Not the cheese.
Not the cheese.
Nothing to do with cheese.
How are you both anyway?
Really good, yeah.
Really good.
Thank you.
Obviously, yes, we're saying you're a bit nervous as well, but please don't be. I mean, you should be so comfortable. You know each other as well, so that should be
Just
like the most comfortable you should ever be when it comes to podcasting. But everybody's all good then.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Well, the first thing we like to do in the podcast, it's really nice and easy, and hopefully it'll break the ice for you a wee bit and make you settle in, lessen nerves and stuff like that. Don't worry. We'd just like to introduce yourselves. I'm going to find out from you. So whether you want to go, whoever goes first or whatever. I mean, Laura, do you want to go first?
I'll go first, yeah.
Even so, we just basically like to get introduced to you, how you managed to get into this sort of business that you're in, and maybe just a wee backstory on yourself. Doesn't need to be too long. Don't need to go back to like when you were like 7 years old or a swing.
When I
or
was
something
7
like
years old. So my background is so after I left school, I'll start from there. After I left school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I quite enjoyed cooking, and went to college and studied hospitality for 3 years. And once I'd finished with college, I went on to university and continued my studies with hospitality, and come away with a degree and got a job in a hotel because I thought that was the right path. I've been going along hospitality all along here, and got into work in a hotel and realised it wasn't for me. So at that point, I remember having a chat with Martin and said, I think I'd quite like a job in a bank. Mm-hmm. So I applied for a job in a bank and got a job in a bank, and I worked in a bank for 16 years. The first year was as a cashier, and then for the last 15 years of my banking career was as a personal assistant. And by that point, probably about maybe the last few years of that, Martin had started the business by that point, and it was very quickly growing arms and legs. So there was always going to be a point where I was going to start working with Martin, but when that would be, we just didn't know. Yep. And then I had the offer of redundancy through the bank. Right. Okay. So
just kind of during the COVID sort of period.
No, this was almost 8 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So the sort of job role that I had, they were cutting the number that the number was in the UK down by so many, and there was an offer of redundancy, which to most people at that point say, "So you all right? You okay?" But I was like, "Yes, yeah,
jump for joy.
Yeah,
this is my chance.
This is the time,
the pure golden opening.
That's it. It was definitely a sign to say, right, okay, now you need to sort of go and start working together. And as I said, that was almost 8 years ago, and I can't actually believe that 8 years has passed since we've been working together. It's fast.
We were chatting obviously earlier on, and you were saying that you are now at a certain point, a big milestone with the 9 business.
9 years, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's just went in so quickly in a flash.
It has. So yeah, 8 years is absolutely flown by, and it's had its ups and downs in 8 years. It's not easy, but it's great. I love it.
I can imagine it must be difficult sometimes with what you do as well, and obviously when it comes to finances and things like that, it's a very big thing, you know what I mean, very important, and it's, you know what I mean, it can be quite difficult with some conversations that you probably had with people as well, but we'll not talk about that, don't worry about that as such. Martin, a wee backstory in yourself, my friend.
Okay, so Laura and I have actually been together 25 years.
25 years.
25 years, so we met when we were 2. So
everybody's got this thing with their age on the podcast. We had Scott talking about how he was 21, even though he probably wasn't 21. kept going back on himself, but no, continue. So
been together for quite a long time, and when Laura joined the bank, I was actually looking for a new career as well. So I was working in opticians prior to that, and Laura had organised an interview because I was quite interested in joining the bank, and I did that. So I came on as a personal banking manager, so helping people with home insurance and their bank accounts and opening accounts and things. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I realised that that actually I wanted to go a bit further in the bank, and I studied in my own time to become a financial advisor. So qualified to do that, and I did that for 12 years. So 12 years came, and the bank decided at that point that they no longer needed financial advisors anymore, due to banking crashes and the financial crisis. So I decided at that point that I would just leave the bank, because I didn't need us anymore. So literally left with no money, and nowhere to go really.
You didn't get the joy of redundancy?
No, I didn't. No, and unfortunately, I didn't. So that would have been great. That would have been a good cushion for us, in order to kind of elevate to really our career. So then I joined a financial advisors network, and learned how to be an independent financial advisor for around about a year. But I've always had this burning ambition to have my own business, ever since I was really young, and maybe this actually goes back way older than I care to admit. But I bought a book out of John Menzies that was actually in Argyle Street in Glasgow a long time ago. And
is this like pre-Waterstones?
Yeah, like way before Waterstones.
You sure you're 25?
And it was called Starting Your Own Business, and it had a picture on the front with an old mobile phone that looks like something a security guard would hold.
Yeah.
Big massive type of brick. So after that, I decided I'm going to go directly authorised to the regulator, Financial Conduct Authority, and ask them if I could have my own business, because I would like to run a business the way that I believe is the right way. And then 9 years later, we're celebrating our birthday. So there was a fairly large learning curve to go from where I was to here. So I did additional exams with 2 kids at the time. So I did.
We still have 2 kids, by the way.
Yeah,
we still do have 2 kids.
At the time,
we still do have 2 kids.
Yeah, so probably
they're just a wee bit older now.
Yeah. So younger kids are so I did study in the evenings and weekends, and got to really the highest qualification that I could achieve in this financial advisor world. So I'm a certified financial planner, as well as a chartered wealth manager, and that's really stood us in good stead, and got us to really where we are now.
It's incredible to think though, like you started in hospitality, you started in an opticians, to then both be running your own financial planning company.
Yeah. I remember when I first met Martin, I remember him saying, I've always wanted my own business, and I didn't really know anyone that owned their own business, so I thought
it's quite big now, isn't it? Like to have your own business now than it is probably back in the day. You thought just work for somebody, like then you just get your pension, easy life, and that's what everybody did.
So when it actually happened, it was like, I look back now, and the decisions that we had to make, we had a young family, we had a mortgage, we still do have a mortgage, but it was a hard decision. And I think, gosh, we took a massive leap to do what we did.
It was a leap of faith.
It was.
Because we didn't really have any money to back us up, nothing really to go on. And we just started from scratch.
I was going to say, do you think it was hard as well? Like, I know obviously it would have been hard, that's not what I mean, but
that's okay.
It's because you're doing something that banks and things offer.
Yeah.
So then trying to get that kind of clientele.
By that point, the banks weren't offering
so
this
they weren't doing that anymore.
This was why Martin had sort of left the bank, because it was just coming to an end through a bank.
Right,
so,
all right.
So
I thought they were just reducing the numbers of how many advisors and things that
They just decided that that's it.
Silly,
we don't offer it anymore.
For banks?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of people disappointed from that, you know.
I was going to say, a lot of people depended on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was I guess an opportunity in a way, because there was people who needed help and less people available to give them that help. So sometimes it's just about really trying to grasp that opportunity and help as many people as possible. And that's really been part of our values in our business. Is we always think if we can help people, our business will always be here, and it will always be around. And the more people we can help, and hopefully the longer we can be, be here as well. So.
Do you tend to find that you have kind of long-term clients that you work with, or is it like a kind of, I'm not like a one-off sort of deal sort of thing? Is it like that, or would you just continue to work with them for how long they need you?
Yeah, so we have long-term clients because they value having someone who's on their side. So that's a real part of our offering, is that you've got someone who's cheering for you, who wants you to do well. So that's a real attribute I feel that we can offer clients, is that they're someone who values a long-term relationship. And obviously, us being relatively young compared to the average financial advisor in the UK is kind of mid-50s. So we are, at least 10 years younger than that.
You're 25.
25, yeah, exactly. So, again, that was some of the things that we spoke about with clients, is that they were worried in case their financial advisor had retired before they had, and unable to finish work that that they were doing for the clients, where hopefully we will be around for a bit longer in order to help people see them through the retirement days, which is a really big life change and a big life event for a lot of people.
100%.
So
some of us might be lucky enough to get retirement as well. You know what I mean? Some people aren't.
Yes.
As well, when it comes to it as well. Some people get their retirement, and then unfortunately within the year. You know what I mean? There's all that things, which is hard, and obviously that must kind of impact everything that goes along with it, all that that hard work that goes along with it, and building up the relationships and the trust and that with everybody as well. And it must be quite a sad thing as well at the end of the day. Like, but you obviously manage it well. Everything that he's discussing is what we've obviously chatted about before. Martin's been in the studio before, so that's why I'm saying like we've chatted about it before. So we've had a good conversation about it as such.
Yeah, exactly.
What sort of things then, like day to day, would you do with sort of people? I know you can't go into much detail as such. Like you can't offer there's no like obviously advice for finance, and everybody's different.
Yes,
and you obviously need to sit down and obviously encourage you to go to these guys and obviously find out a bit more. But what would a kind of typical day to day sort of be with clients? What would you look at doing? So
the way we see it, we've got 3 roles that we generally do with clients. Our first role is that we're life planners, first of all, and that's really about identifying what's important to a client in terms of their lifestyle and what their desired lifestyle would look like, things that they want to do more of, that they enjoy doing, and things that they don't like to do. So let's do less of those things. So we have a bit of a conversation around that. That's the most important thing for us, is finding out what's important to our clients. So we build a plan around that initially. Then we're actually financial planners secondary, where what we do is we crunch the numbers to see if the plan that we can create for our clients actually works, and if it's possible in order for those clients to do those things, then we'll let them know. And then the third part is that we're independent financial advisors, where we put in place an action and implement products if required for to make the whole thing work, to make the whole thing go. So general day-to-day activities are pretty much meeting with clients and doing administration in the background and helping as well. But of course it's there's various times of the year, tax years and things that come up, and you'll be busier than others, and changes to budget, etc. as well, and legislation, and how that impacts certain clients. So they'll contact us maybe at certain times of the year, and we'll of course be proactive and speak to them as well about how the changes are affecting their own plan, so to speak.
It's mental to think that, innit? Like, obviously that opportunity for someone that's maybe thinking there, like, I'll never get to retirement age as well.
Yeah.
But then there's people like you guys that are out there that can obviously help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get to that point.
And that's really what it's about. It's putting a financial number. So we call it Financial Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a goal that we're working towards, where people can stop accumulating and saving up into a pension or a savings or account or an ISA, and then they can start doing the fun bit, which is the spending, which is, you know, the sooner we can get our clients to do that, generally the happier they are, because they're not having to do, you know, a job maybe they've done for a long time and they're kind of ready to retire. So we almost put like a financial number at which point you would get to at some point in the future. So it's a goal as opposed to just blindly saving into a pension or an ISA.
Yep.
And not having any context behind that. So that's what we do.
Brilliant. And what do you think of the, like, do you think that you build like lasting relationships with kind of clients or whoever it is that you're dealing with, like, just for when it comes to it, like, do you feel like they trust with a lot of stuff that you do with them? Because obviously the big responsibility with their money and things like that and everything that goes along with it. I'm not saying that you hold on to their money as such, but trusting you is obviously to give them the right kind of guidance and path. Like, do you feel like you've had that experience with kind of clients?
Most of our clients, most of our clients, some of them have been with us since the start, since we started the business, and are still with us. And, you know, really kind of go-to for them. For a lot of things, actually, for a lot of things, not always financial. Sometimes it's something different, isn't it? And it's that relationship. That's probably the key thing. It's having that relationship.
Just wonder if people think you are like life coaches as well when it comes to it as well.
I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Well, I think it's really important as well, because we're focusing on our clients' lives first, because that's the most important thing. And the numbers and the income and the savings they've got are just vehicles to get them where they want to be. They're just vehicles to get them to live their life the way that they would like to live it. So there's lasting impacts, not just for them, but also for their families as well. And their families are very appreciative from our point of view, and saying, you've looked after my mum and dad, thanks very much. We would like to become clients, maybe the sons or daughters of our clients as well. So hopefully they'll, you know, inherit the trust and things that we've built up with their mums and dads throughout the years as well. So, and for us, that's a real rewarding part of our job, to do that. So yeah, there's an element of not necessarily a life coach, but helping our clients make smart decisions with money in order to help their lifestyle. And people's lives are so different. So what someone wants is different from someone else. And it's our job to try and help them get where they want to be based on, you know, their finances. So.
And do you have like a minimum age of somebody that would come to you, or is there a set age where you say, like, this is the sort of clientele that we deal with, like age group wise? So I know we're talking a lot about retirement and things like that. That obviously comes with a certain type of age. You know what I mean? Late 50s, 60s and things like that. But as you say, then a family member comes to you and they're like, well, we want to do what you're doing. They might not be able to obviously retire now. Like, look at me, my age, and I'm like, retirement's a long way away. But I'm like, is there something that I could do right now with you guys that could help me accelerate that process maybe?
So I would say in the short term, when you're saving into, say, a pension, for example, or something a bit longer term, you don't always get the short term benefit really for that, because you're putting something in, you don't really see it for a longer term. So people who are maybe 25, 26, maybe even up to 30, and they're thinking, well, why should I, you know, think about my future too much, because I've got to live today, and I've got so many more responsibilities of things that I want to do. I've got nights out and things to do. I've got a life to live, and maybe people start thinking about it at a later stage. So I would say somewhere along the lines of maybe 40 or so would be a reasonable age, because the more time you've got in your hands, the better your money will grow over a period of time, as opposed to if you start thinking about it maybe in your late 60s or so, or mid 60s. It gives a short-term window if you want to fix something, or you want something to be a bigger pot, because the chance of you working and things and being able to earn, the window starts to close at that point once you become closer to retiral age. So
I think there's probably a shift in people's priorities as well.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, like as you said, your priority when you're in your 20s is not saving into a pension. It's not.
No.
You might be able to you might have a workplace pension or something like that. You might have that, but that's most 20-year-olds, it's not a priority for them.
Yeah.
So I would say most clients that come to us are over 40, and are starting to think, oh, hang on a minute, I'm starting to think about heading towards retirement. It might be a long way off yet, but I need to start thinking about it.
But it is quite a reactive thing. So ordinarily people don't sit around on a Saturday night watching TV and go, I really need to sort my finances for the future out. It's something that generally it's a reaction from something, or they know someone who maybe hasn't made it to retirement, and they go, right, maybe I should start looking at doing something.
A lot of these apps and things out there now, like I'm currently using one called Moneybox and things like that, and I think it's like a lifetime ISA, so I feel like it is becoming more known about as well, and even adverts as well. Like all I see now is put your money away for your pension, put your money away for doing all that sort of stuff. So it's just, you see it, there is a lot of advertisement there, and obviously that will hopefully, as you say, make somebody react to go, I really need to get back together.
That's right. But as Laura was saying, in your 20s your priorities are different, so it's just kind of living from kind of week to week, and that's fine, because we did that as well. When, and then of course maybe children come along, and weddings and things which cost a lot of money as well.
That's it. But holidays and things like that.
Holidays, and these days parents or grandparents do want to help financially to their kids and their grandkids and things as well, and they get a bit of a hand financially through that, and that's a lot of things that we speak to our clients about, is that would you like to help your daughter or your son with wedding costs, because it's expensive these days. I think the average is maybe £25,000 or so.
I think you're right.
For a wedding,
depending where you're going these days as well. You're starting to see a lot of smaller weddings. I think, with people realising, like, who am I paying this for? Whose wedding day is this? Is this mine, or is it their day? So
that's right.
I know, it's crazy when you think of the mad numbers and stuff like that as well. Especially where the world is at the minute, with obviously the massive, again, the crisis and things like that as well. And do you know what I mean? Everybody is keeping a tight hand on their money as well at the minute. And I think they could obviously benefit from like speaking to you guys as well and looking to go further. I think everybody is realising now, like, they have to think of the future as well. It's not just you at the end of the day, it's the family as well when it comes to it as well. So hopefully that's a good indication for people listening and watching, that they're like, right, hopefully they've inspired
do something about that.
to come and actually do something about it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think separates you guys though from like other financial advisors? I know you were saying obviously there's an age there, and you've obviously got that, you'll maybe have that relationship, maybe a lasting relationship, a longer relationship. But what do you think really separates? Do you think it's the family dynamic?
I think it's probably a few things. I think the qualifications that Martin has, not every financial advisor has that. Not everyone has achieved it. It's not like it's something that the regulator has said everybody has to qualify to that level. Martin's done that off his own back and decided that it was a very conscious decision to go and study and to sacrifice family time sometimes to go and do it. And it was hard, and it took a lot of hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's worth it, because, as I say, not every financial advisor is certified or is even chartered. So that's one thing that certainly sets us apart from it.
And when we built our company, obviously we know the name Brierie, not Brierie, but it's Brierie Financial Planning.
I'm so worried about saying the name because I get it wrong.
So we wanted to build a local company, one that local people could resonate with, and and identify with as well. So one of the things that I believe that makes us stand out is we're really community driven, and we hope to help people in the local area. So, you know, each year at our birthday, we kind of have a bit of a birthday kind of, I guess, Facebook post and things.
A celebration.
So last year we did one where we took 8 local companies and got vouchers from them and things, and got companies involved, really to celebrate local companies trying to keep money locally within, you know, Renfrewshire, because it's all about really, you know, helping local people and local businesses. So really having a local company, I think, is a standout compared to a lot of the bigger companies which might have offices in Glasgow or Edinburgh and have lots of different advisors, where we can hopefully have good, meaningful relationships with people who are nearby, knowing that when they have a service like ours, it's going back into our community as well. So, and we've literally just today put on Facebook that we've got our 9th birthday celebration, and we've collaborated with a local company who makes candles as well. And
please feel free to say their name if you want to say their name.
Okay, it's fine. A company called Olapip in Brierie, and because it's your first birthday as well, I've actually got you, or Laura and I have gifted you, and Rebecca, of course. This is the first candle.
The first one.
This is the first one. So some of the profits are going to local companies, to local communities.
Yeah, community-based sort of gardening.
Yeah,
amazing.
So Be Happy is one, and what's the other one?
It's Brierie, but I can't remember the name of it.
Brierie, I can't remember the one, but anyway, that's a gift.
Oh, that's so kind.
To you. It's on our Facebook page, and that's and it's also to represent the start of spring as well. So our logo, as you can see, is a bee.
Well, that was something I was wanting to ask you. Why a bee?
Okay.
Why a bee?
Why a bee? So again, bees are so important. You know, at any point in the world. So we felt represented what we do. We're hardworking, we're community based, and it's, you know, we're trying to do things together with clients. It's not, you know, them here and us there. It's we're working together for you know, a mutual goal in order to help people. So so I believe the scent is spring flowers or something.
Spring
flowers. So
Rebecca loves a candle, so she will love that. I'm putting it here, so hopefully that it will show on the.
So that is the first. That is number one. The first one. No else has got it yet.
Well, if there's anything that I can do to be part of your community project, if you need anybody to come film anything or do any of your socials, please let me know, because I'd like to put my hat in the ring. Say a big thanks to you guys, obviously, for coming here and obviously gifting that. That's very kind. It's much appreciated. If there's anything I can do here, and you've got it on video, so I can't get away from it now. So just in case you do start coming, remember you said. Well, it's free cameras, so I can't get away from that. Good. What do you think's next then for the business, for you guys? What do you think?
So
obviously you're celebrating your 9th birthday, right?
Yes.
So we've got a few things that have in the pipeline. So the logo that's on the tin is a new logo. So we've changed our logo and just sort of freshened it up a little bit. Yep. So we've done that, and we are in the process of updating our website, because it's we've had the same website since we started, and it just needs a refreshing up as well. So we've got that in the pipeline. But because it's only 2 of us, it takes a longer time to sort of do things, and we've got 2 teenage boys as well, so that takes up quite a lot of our time too. So it does take us time sometimes with not the client work, but the other stuff of running a business. It takes that wee bit longer sometimes, because the priorities shift depending on how much client work we have. So we are in the process of doing it, and we will get there with it, but just
sometimes if something's not broken, why fix it, or try to fix it? But as you say, you've recognised it needs a wee splash of something
just needs freshened up a wee bit, and just a wee bit needs a refreshing.
Yeah, it'll be good once it's organised
Yeah.
and updated. Really, so it'll be nice.
100%.
Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
think-
sometimes it's just a wee change in it. Just
I think
brightens a
as well,
business up.
having this collaboration with another local company, it's quite an exciting thing to do, and it's something new. We haven't done anything like this before,
Yeah.
and it's something quite exciting. And it's a fantastic company, Olapip. The candles are
Yeah.
amazing. They're so lovely. She
Yeah.
does a really good job.
I can see
Um,
Rebecca nodding at the side, so she must know.
You must
know
have
what it
heard
is.
of them already.
Yeah.
So it's quite. This is quite exciting as well, having this sort of wee project to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know you did say what you're doing, but are you gifting these to businesses, or is this for raising funds, this sort of thing?
So we've actually got some for vouchers for our clients at the moment, but there will be a Facebook competition page very soon, and anyone can get involved in that, and we'll be gifting 9 candles to
Amazing.
celebrate our 9th birthday. But if you don't manage to win in the competition, you're more than welcome to go along and buy one from Olapip. And like I say, some of the profits go to the community companies that are the community council.
The charities that are the sort of tidy up the villages.
Yeah.
You know, they go out and they do litter picking and they sort of keep the garden bits nice and tidy.
So there's
and
one in
things like that.
Houston and there's one in Bridge of Weir. So like I say, so again, it's all about keeping it in our own communities and helping each other, really.
And where are you based? What part are you based in?
So we're in Houston or Crossley.
Right, okay.
Yep. So we live in Brierie House. So hence the name.
Brierie.
Brierie Financial Planning.
Not Brierie. Brierie.
No, Brierie.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
That'll be the running joke now. Not Brierie. Brierie. Brilliant.
Yeah. So we're based there, and luckily we've got quite a few independent businesses that are around us as well, and it's a great place for community as well. So everyone kind of helps out with things. We also sponsored the open air gym down in our
outdoor park. That's
Outdoor
got
park.
All right, okay.
It's an outdoor park that's got like the gym equipment. So we were sort of one of the sponsors for to sort of help
for that.
fund
so,
that.
Yeah, and we also do a help towards the Houston community, our agricultural show.
It's the Kirk Carnival.
Kirk Carnival.
So the Kirk
Yep.
Carnival,
Yep.
they produce a sort of brochure every year, and it gets sort of delivered, or you can buy it and then buy tickets to go to the carnival, and we've sort of helped towards that as well.
Yep.
Amazing. And do you use, because I know a lot of places kind of do this, obviously, it depends what you obviously choose to do,
Yeah.
but a lot of them change charities every year. Do you keep with the one sort of charity that you work with, or do you just kind of work with multiple charities, or do you pick like a charity like each kind of year to do it?
Yeah, so we kind of see where areas kind of need, our help, really, and we kind of choose based on how we'll feel at that time of year. So, because it's all important, all the charities, and I think going with the same one all the time, I think there's different needs at different times.
Yep.
That can help, because obviously a lot of the bigger charities they get
funding support.
They get funding and things. So if we can help something more local and maybe something that's a bit less subsidised, that means something as well to us or people that we know, is also helpful.
Amazing. Fantastic. It's amazing what you are doing as well.
Thank
And
you.
it's nice that you're incorporating it with the business and things like that, and keeping it kind of local,
Yeah.
supporting others, and then obviously yourself. I mean, growing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 years, fantastic.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because that's what it's been. It has been organic growth, really,
Yeah.
just through word of mouth. We're not advertising or anything, so
It's down to your hard work, though.
It does mean a lot. So
Massively down to
Hopefully.
both your hard works, you know what I mean?
thanks.
Incredible work that he's doing. Love me to continue
Thank you very much.
as
Indeed.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, try to balance everything with kids as well. You know what I mean? 2 teenage boys as well. I imagine probably want to go do different things and go here, there, everywhere. So
Yeah.
your time must be very, very valuable.
It is, and that we've spoken the phone about time, and it's the most important thing, particularly if you've got kids, because once they turn 18, the time that you'll be able to spend after that is, you know, really reduced, reduces down. I think the statistic is something like 90% of the time you'll ever spend with your kids are up until they're 18, and then after that, it's kind of
quite a scary thought.
Yeah,
That is.
So,
I was thinking about it the other day with my mum and dad. I was like, oh, I don't see mum and dad as much now. I'm out of the house and stuff like that as well. It's mental.
So we put an emphasis on making time with our kids and our family, because we know it's not going to be forever. So and just as Laura says, it's about kind of prioritising, you know, the things that we've got in front of us, really, and the kids is one of the first ones, and that's really why one of the reasons why we have our business is really to help, you know, people, but at the same time have a good base for our kids' future as well. So
amazing. Hoping that they get in the family business.
See,
who knows? Who knows?
Let them choose. Let them choose. That's it. That's the way to be.
Exactly.
I kind of think he's both enough. It's been absolutely amazing. Do you feel like there's anything that was missed that you'd like for people to know about the business, or that you want to talk about, or anything? Just
not really. No.
I don't think so. No. Other than to say, and I don't think you said to start with our husband and wife as well, because not a lot of people know that.
I wasn't sure if we'd brought it up. I know you said that he's been together, but people might just be like, oh, it's nice they've worked together and stuff like that. No, they are married.
And I don't think sometimes people don't realise that it is a family business. It is two of us, and you know, maybe they don't realise that it's a husband and wife in the
that's
business.
a good point.
We've clarified that. It's a family business, okay?
Yes.
Keep your eyes to yourself, okay? But listen, thank you so much for coming along.
Appreciate it.
For the people listening and watching, how did they get in touch with you guys then to start their journey with you?
Various different ways. Our website, even though it's getting updated, people can still access our website, and it's Brierie FP, so F for Foxtrot, P for Papa .co.uk. We're also on Instagram, Brierie FP. We're on Facebook as Brierie Financial Planning. You can email us, info@brieriefp.co.uk, or you know, search it up on Google.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated.
Really
lovely having, and the very first double guest as well.
And first husband and wife.
First husband and wife. There you go.
Oh, is it okay?
Definitely in the studio, 100%. 100%. Thank you so much for listening, folks, and watching along. This podcast will be available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And if you have enjoyed it, please feel free to drop us a wee subscribe, a like, follow, all that jazz anyway. But listen, Martin, Laura, thank you so much for coming along.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.